Hi, and welcome to Belly to Belly. And today we're continuing in our series to help prepare you for SelectUSA. We're also welcoming on board Emily Smith from American Electric Power. Hi, Emily. And so it's really great to chat with you today. And I know you're excited about SelectUSA. We had a chance to chat for just a moment before starting. So can you tell me about what American Electric Power does to help companies that are coming into the U.S.?
Sure. So AEP, so we're one of the largest energy companies in the US. And so we have kind of a unique role in how we help companies. So of course, power is our expertise. So anytime that energy is one of the drivers of where a company is locating, of course, we get involved with helping and we bring that expertise to the table. But we're kind of unique in that we have a location advisory services arm to the business. It's almost like, think of us as a consulting business, a consulting arm of the business where we're helping companies identify where that ideal site location may be. And because we serve such a large geography, we serve almost 2,400 communities in 11 states. I think an advantage of ours is that we can really help companies that may not already be drilled down on a specific region, and they may be looking at multiple options across multiple states. We can help do those regional comparisons and some of the research that goes into identifying that ideal site. So we get a lot involved in a lot of fronts, but I would say mainly on the site selection side, and then also big time on the energy side, of course, identifying is there capacity at the site, where are the best renewable options, and really comparing sites. And we actually do that nationwide. If a company is looking, where is the best options in terms of renewables and meeting their sustainability goals. So we get involved in a lot of fronts.
Oh, this is fantastic. No, there's so many companies that need that help. So let's talk about, so our audience, as I mentioned, is companies that, in some cases are considering SelectUSA or have already made the decision to come. But, with AEP, why is it in particular that you think the event and the summit is so important, and why do you participate?
Yeah, good question. So we've actually participated since the very inception. So we've been involved. We've exhibited there and have been a sponsor in some form or another every single year. And for us, it's just been a really great opportunity to meet, of course, investors. They're all in the same place. But not only investors, but we also meet some of our customers there, our suppliers, our state partners, our local partners. So it's more to us, it's like we can't miss out. We have to be there because everyone's there. And we've just gotten we've actually gotten projects that have landed from companies that we've met there. And so it's kind of a no-brainer for us.
I love the way you put that, is that everybody's in the room at one time. It's just sort of a place, if you're not there, you're really missing all those great connections and the ability maybe to have a 3 or even 4-way conversation with a variety of stakeholders, can take place. So no, I thought that was perfect. So thinking about these companies, this in some cases maybe their first trip to the U.S. It may be the first trip coming in to promote this business. And especially with your experience over the last 8 or 9 years since SelectUSA started, when you think about the companies that you see get the most out of the participation in the event, what are some of the things that you see that are kind of the best practices in terms of a company that's coming in to get the most out of their U.S. visit, and particularly SelectUSA participation?
Yeah, good question. Because we've seen a lot, right? I would say definitely companies that do their homework in advance, right? It can be overwhelming. I always say that to companies there, especially for the first time. I mean, everyone is there. You can meet with a representative from nearly every state, and they're all going to say that they have the best place to do business, and they're all going to try to woo you. And so it can be really overwhelming. And so I think as much homework in advance, knowing who you're going to meet with beforehand, setting up meetings in advance, and so that you have a short list of who you want to meet with in person and actually spend some time with them at the event in person. I've seen personally, companies that have come in, we've had the meeting in advance of the event, then sat down in person, and because we things during the meeting, pull up the screen, show them, here's what we think would make the most sense. And then, oh, by the way, let me bring over our state partner. This is from the state, state X, and here's the local partner, and everyone's there at the table. So I think just really doing that homework in advance, knowing who you want to go and talk to, setting up the pre-meetings and post-meetings, and just I think the biggest mistake companies make is just saying, oh, it's exploratory. We're just going to go and test it out this first year. Well, you come back with, you met 100 people and you're completely overwhelmed. And what do you do with that? So
I love it. Yeah. So don't be random. It's the idea. But I love the idea of pre-meetings. And really, when you get to SelectUSA, you're having next level or second level meetings where maybe some information has been drawn together, and as you said, some preliminary conversations can really happen that are substantive versus exploratory. Yeah. No.
Yeah, and I would just add. Yeah, I would just add to that too. Any, depending, of course, what stage, your plans are in the U.S., that would depend. But coming with an actual framework of, if you're at that stage where potentially what the building size will be, what kind of infrastructure you'll need, any of those criteria, because a lot of the states and partners that you'll be meeting with, they may have sites and buildings and that material on hand. So the more prepared you are, the better.
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, the more your requirements and have that clarity. Always much easier to get answers when you have the question. It sounds simple, but if only we're always done. That's so fantastic. So we'll plan in the description down below to put your contact info, but I'm sure you'd welcome anyone that wants to make contact before the event.
Sure. Yes, of course.
Excellent. And so to our audience, please make sure to like and subscribe, and certainly connect with Emily with any of your questions. And Emily, it's been such a pleasure to chat with you today. Thanks for taking the time, and we can't wait to see you in June.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. All right. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you in June for sure.
All right.
Bye now. And today we're continuing our series for SelectUSA 2022. We're also continuing our series to welcome on SelectUSA Emily Smith. We're also joined American Electric Power. Emily Smith from. And today we're continuing in our series to help prepare you for SelectUSA. And we're also continuing our series to help prepare you for SelectUSA American Electric Power. Today, we'd like to welcome on board Emily Smith from American Electric Power.